안녕하세요, 빛나입니다. 제가 약간 요즘에 그 위스키계의 연예가 중계가 된 것 같아요. 멋진 해외 방한 인사들이 오시면은 제 채널에서 함께 하시게 돼서 진짜 영광인데요. 오늘은 스페이번 위스키에 대해서 알아볼 수 있는 시간을 가져볼 거예요. 스페이번 브랜드 앰버서더 스튜어트 박스터님을 모시고 스페이번에 대한 이야기 들어보겠습니다. Can you introduce yourself for my subscribers?
Yeah, my name's Stuart Baxter. I'm the global ambassador for Speyburn. So I'm coming from Glasgow, Scotland. Arrived to Korea for the first time 2 days ago. Very excited to be here. I've already eaten far too much kimchi, but thoroughly enjoying it. And I'm here today to talk to you about all of our lovely whiskies.
Oh, okay. So your first time in Korea.
First time in Korea.
What were you most excited about before you coming to Korea?
Food.
Okay.
And soju.
So have you tried it already?
Yeah, but the thing is, the stuff that we get in Scotland is not necessarily as varied as we get here. So the stuff that's been here has been fantastic.
Oh, okay, that's great. So let's talk about Speyburn whiskey.
Yeah.
As a whiskey YouTuber, I have to be very honest. So I do like taste of Speyburn whiskey, but you know, when compared to other whiskey, it's much more subtle and then doesn't have such a defining set of characteristics.
Yeah.
If you had to describe what makes Speyburn so special in just one sentence, what would it be?
You give me one sentence.
Yeah, one sentence.
So if I can combine this, it's a very underrated whiskey
Underrated
in a lot
whiskey.
of ways.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the way I talk about Speyburn is it's the classic flavour profile of Speyside, from the quality of spirit that we produce at the distillery, and then from the final flavour profile giving you that beautiful fruity, floral and apple character.
Okay, since we are short on time, we will start tasting from Speyburn 10, but
Go for it.
can you introduce Bradman Orak, which is the entry level from Speyburn whiskey?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So Bradnorrick is our non-age statement. Bradnorrick is golden salmon. So the symbol that we have on the front of the bottle and the front of the box,
Yeah.
Speyburn. Spey is the river Spey that runs
okay.
through the whole of Speyside, and it is very well known for salmon fishing.
Do you often catch the salmon nearby the distillery?
I am not a good fisherman, but you will see everyone sitting in the river and fishing on a regular basis.
Okay, so let's start with Speyburn 10.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Lunchtime.
So Speyburn 10 is all refill bourbon. So all refill bourbon, a touch of first fill in there, and the idea being is on the nose especially, apples.
Apple and lemon.
Yeah.
With citrusy.
It's quite citrusy. So basis our new make spirit, which is kind of ester forward, meaning kind of tropical fruits and fruity, introducing that into bourbon cask and softening that with vanilla, coconut, and then red apples.
I often recommend this whiskey for whiskey beginner, for just getting into whiskey world, since it's approachable and affordable, and most of them are satisfied with the Speyburn.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is one of those accessible pieces. But the great thing is that this is one that, luckily I work for the company and we get discounts, which is great. This is one I replace on my shelf every single time. But once this finishes, this gets replaced immediately.
Oh,
so
it's
I
a
think
dream job though. You can get discounts all the
yeah,
time.
I know, right? Yeah. I got a lot of jealous people, but it's great. But it's,
Awesome. Speyburn 10 has been also released with highball package in Korea because highball is popular here in Korea.
Yeah.
Do people in Scotland also enjoy drinking highball here?
Highballs is not a big thing necessarily in Scotland.
Really?
Classic 2-ingredient highballs is not that big. So whenever I'm coming over to Tarzan Asia, highballs is one of my favourite.
Yeah.
So for me and a lot of other whiskey ambassadors, highballs are one of our favourite drinks.
I love Speyburn 10 highball mixed with the ginger ale. We're gonna try Speyburn highball.
Stunning.
This ginger ale really go well with Speyburn 10. Favorite tree. So when you drink Speyburn whiskey, what is your favorite way to enjoy it?
I think everyone thinks the way that I drink it is the correct way to drink it.
Oh yeah.
But the correct way to drink it is the way that you want to drink it. So it depends, am I happy, am I sad, where am I with you, am I drinking in Scotland? It
That's a
depends.
really good answer. Yeah, I will copy that
Come in.
answer when I have a similar question.
It's far too easy to drink.
So good.
It's lovely, thank you.
Yeah. I think I can drink it whole day from morning
Yeah, but we've
to
got 2 more
evening.
whiskeys to get through. And we won't tell you exactly what time it is either.
It's actually 12 p.m. but that's the time to drink whiskey because our palate is so clean.
Exactly, yeah.
I've heard that Speyburn Distillery is surrounded by beautiful nature and stunning scenery. So how does that environment influence the whiskey flavor?
Specifically in terms of location, and when we're talking about production and flavour profile, it's the Granty Burn. Burn is just a small creek. Speyburn, it literally translates to the small creek running into the river Spey. So the Granty Burn, we have exclusive use of it, and it's a very pure, mineral-rich water. Our production, our processing, it comes from the Granty Burn. So from a location point of view, in this beautiful, beautiful spot.
So let's move on to Speyburn 15, crafted in amazing nature and aged for 15 years. So can you explain more about Speyburn 15?
I can. So this is where our distillery manager and me disagree. This is my favourite.
Okay.
Our distillery manager's is the 80. Now, this isn't to say this is the best one. This is just my personal preference. We're 12 years in bourbon. We're 3 years in sherry. 46% and natural colour from the cask. So all that colour that you see is coming from the wood. This is my favourite because it's a bit nuttier. It's got those kind of baking spices like cinnamon in it. And it just has this lovely character. Of course, coming from that ex-bourbon and that apple flavour, it's supported with that freshness, that juiciness.
I love dark chocolate notes from Späi번 15. It's lovely
Exactly.
and they're very soft. It's so good. We just opened the bottle, but it doesn't have the bad influence from alcohol, right?
Absolutely.
I think all Späi번 whiskey are well balanced and easy to drink, which make me think it would pair with the food so nicely.
Yeah.
What kind of food do you think that it go particularly well with?
I love foods. So I was in the market. It's like a rice sponge or pudding and this really rich kind of like a gochujang sauce. See that with a Späi번 15? Oh God, it was incredible. Very incredible. But typically when we get to sherry cask, I look at more game meat. So things like back home it'd be like venison or pigeon. So something a bit heavier. And then when we get into Späi번 10, into Brad Norwick, which is much softer, appley, lighter, things like sashimi, like lighter fish, go beautifully.
Okay. I would like to try that. Späi번 whiskey has a long history dating back to 1897. Are there traditional methods that have been passed down for 100 years?
We opened our doors for the first time in 125 years last 2 years ago. And what was incredible was we have a very special piece of Scotch whisky history that no one else had. So we have something called the drum malt. Now these were installed in 1905 and effectively replaced that concept of monkey shoulder, where people would flip the barley, so it would help turn the barley. We were the first malt distillery to put them in.
Do you still use that machine?
We don't. So it's now a museum piece, and we're the only distillery in Scotland to still have them. So we had master distillers, etc., coming to have a look and see these incredible pieces of machinery. So we have dusts. There's barley from 1967 when we closed it.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Oh, that's cool. And the Späi번 also still use a worm tub condenser, right?
Yeah, so worm tub's giving us a bit of a heavier, oilier character with the size of the still, which is one of the largest in Scotland, 27,000 litres. Juices a lot of fruity character, so giving you heaviness, that viscosity, but that fruity, appley character.
Yeah. Then finally, Späi번 18. When I first tried, I was so impressed.
It's good. And I think this is where people get quite surprised with Späi번. Very comfortable with the 10 being ex-bourbon cask and appley, and then this comes along.
Yeah.
Now this is why, so Ewan Henderson, who's our master distiller, this is his favourite. Because it's chocolate, it's creamy, there's a huge amount of lovely nutty texture, but it moves away from what I prefer, which is that spicy character. This gets softer, rounder, cleaner. It's just chocolate in a glass.
Yeah.
Now Ewan's not wrong. It is an absolutely delicious whiskey.
This is my favorite.
Most people, it is their favourite. It's absolutely delicious. It's an incredible whiskey. Again, 46%. Non-chill filtered, so all the texture comes into the final whiskey, and then natural colour.
Späi번 18 is the oldest whiskey in the core range.
Yep.
Do you have any plan to release like older one?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Why?
No, I'm joking. We've gone through a refresh, new brand, which is really looking incredible. But with that, we've also done some new product development as well. Our rum cask, I cannot talk about here, but we've got other things that we're working on that are quite exciting.
Speaking of rebranding, so I saw that the rebranded Späi번 whiskey has such a vibrant color.
Yep.
It's really beautiful. So is there any special meaning behind the color choice?
We've seen this across the Scotch whisky industry as a whole, and really what we're talking about is going away from fairly older traditional packaging, and the whole idea behind Späi번 is that it's an accessible drink, and it's for everyone. The more people that we have to talk about whiskey, the better. And in terms of a flavour profile, it's approachable, it's delicious, it's apple. Then if we get more people talking about it and just picking up a bottle to taste it and see how good it is, the more friends we have to talk about whiskey. So it's purely from an accessibility point of view, and actually giving that vibrancy, that understanding that anyone can drink whiskey. It should be for everyone.
I saw that the new product was released, rum cask finish and the bourbon cask.
Yeah.
So can you introduce?
Yeah, of course. Rum cask finish was an exciting one. So finished in rum casks, evidently to the name.
So matured in bourbon cask first?
All bourbon cask, so all refill bourbon cask. So we're looking at that vanilla, that coconut, and then that red apple roundness. And then moving into the rum cask, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a limited edition, but it's not.
No? Okay.
It is here to stay.
good news.
It's in that lovely coconut, but those pineapple notes, and it really pulls from the spirit character. It pulls those flavors even further forward. It has this lovely kind of tropical, elegant flavor profile around it, and the texture's just outstanding.
Awesome. It's the first time for Späi번 distillery to use rum cask.
Yeah, it's the first time in our history. So Stuart Harvey, who's our heads up our lab and our wood policy, his brain is just outstanding. So he's got more than enough talent and skill to curate something like this. We knew that we had the skill level and wood policy to do it, and Stuart executed it beautifully, along with Ewan Henderson, our master distiller.
Oh, okay. How about bourbon cask?
So bourbon cask is the elevated Brad Norrick. It's replacing Brad Norrick because unfortunately not everyone speaks Gaelic. It was basically making sure that people knew exactly what it was. It was all refill bourbon cask, so it's going to be the exact same flavor profile of Brad Norrick.
I wrote a post to my subscribers asking they have any questions for you about
Yes.
Späi번. I received a few.
Oh no.
So the first the first question was, so I've heard many great things about Späi번 cherry single cask.
yeah.
And a lot of people would love to try the Späi번 cherry single cask in Korea. So
Yeah.
would it be available here?
Well, no, I'm joking. We did a lot of single casks, but because we've had the new rebrand, we've got a new, as I said, some things that I can't talk about, but we'll see. So it's not a no, it's a never say never.
Can I say there will be more single cask products from Späi번
possible.
in the near future?
Possible.
Okay.
You're trying to draw out of me, and I'm not letting that happen.
Okay. And the second thing was the Späi번 doesn't have many cask strength whiskeys. Only one, as far as I
In
know.
the past, yeah.
Is there any specific reason for that?
Was that accessibility piece. Considering our flavour profile, we want everyone to be able to taste it. And when we think about the level of alcohol, it's a lot. The other thing that we need to consider is that every distillery in the cask maturation, the style of spirit, it has a breaking point. You know, you don't want to push it too high in alcohol because at some point it just snaps and the alcohol becomes too dominant. We're sitting at 46 here. I think this is probably one of the optimum points that we could have Späi번, but ultimately we want everyone to access it. So having it 46% means more people can have a taste, pick up a bottle and enjoy it.
Okay. Speaking of single cask and cask strength, can we expect Späi번 whiskey Korean exclusive?
Again, it's a never say never scenario.
Okay, never
With everything,
say-
I'm not trying to avoid the question, it is a never say never. I value my job.
Okay, yes. Thank you for your time having
It's a
interviewed
pleasure.
me. And can you share one final message for my subscribers who haven't had a chance to try the Späi번 whiskey yet?
Yeah, pick up a bottle. You won't be disappointed. It's an incredible whiskey. It's so juicy, it's so appley, it's so flavorful. Just pick up a 10-year-old and you'll be pleasantly surprised and throw it in a highball.
Rush Raffle with the highball.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. 저 오늘 이렇게 스튜어트 박서 브랜드 앰버서더님 모시고 재미있게 스페이번에 관련된 이야기를 해봤는데요. 진짜 너무 매력이 많은 좋은 위스키예요. 아직까지 스페이번 위스키 드셔보지 않았다면 이 영상을 보시고 영업 당해보세요. 오늘도 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 다음에 또 만나요. 안녕.
See you later. Bye.
안녕.